From foster care to fierce advocate, rewriting the story of childhood trauma, welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we explore stories that challenge, inspire, and transform. Today, we have the extraordinary privilege of sharing insights from our interview with Sharita SIMS, a remarkable individual whose journey from foster care to children's book author is not just a tale of personal triumph, but a clarion call for change in how we support our most vulnerable children. Sharita SIMS isn't just an author. She's a force of nature, a beacon of hope for countless children navigating the tumultuous waters of foster care and family separation. Her work doesn't just tell stories. It rewrites narratives, challenges systems, and offers a lifeline to those who need it most. Sharita's impact ripples far beyond the pages of her books, touching lives and sparking conversations that have the power to reshape our society's approach to childhood trauma and resilience. Now let's dive into the heart of today's talk. Have you ever stopped to consider the long-lasting impact of childhood experiences on our adult lives? What if I told you that the very obstacles that seem insurmountable in our youth could become the foundation for creating positive change in the world? Pause for a moment and think about your own childhood. For many of us, it's a tapestry of fond memories, minor struggles, and the comforting presence of family. But for some, like Sharita, childhood is a battlefield, fraught with uncertainty, fear, and the harsh reality of being separated from everything familiar. Imagine being a child, suddenly uprooted from your home, thrust into a new environment with strangers who are now responsible for your care. It's a scenario that would challenge even the most resilient adult, let alone a vulnerable child. Yet, this is the daily reality for thousands of children in the foster care system. Sharita's experience in foster care could have easily become a story of despair, another statistic in a system that often fails those it's meant to protect. Instead, it became the catalyst for her mission to safeguard and empower other children facing similar circumstances. Her journey from foster child to author is a testament to the indomitable human spirit and the power of transforming adversity into opportunity. Now, you might be thinking, that's great for Sharita, but what does this have to do with me again? Well, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like an outsider? Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable? If you're nodding your head, then Sharita's story has more relevance to your life than you might think. You see, Sharita's experience in foster care isn't just about foster care. It's about resilience. It's about finding strength in vulnerability. It's about the power of storytelling to heal and connect. These are universal themes that resonate with all of us, regardless of our background. Let's dive deeper into Sharita's journey. As a budding author of children's books, Sharita has found a unique way to address her past experiences. Her books are loosely based on her own story, touching on themes of family separation, prayer, faith, and resilience. But these aren't just stories, they're lifelines for children who might be going through similar experiences. Imagine being a child in foster care, feeling alone and misunderstood, and then finding a book that speaks directly to your experience. A book that says, I see you, I understand you, you're not alone. That's the power of Sharita's work. She's not just writing stories, she's creating mirrors for children who rarely see themselves reflected in literature. But Sharita's impact goes beyond the pages of her books. She's starting conversations that many people are afraid to have. She's encouraging us to reach out to family members who have experienced foster care or social services. She's inspiring us to have those difficult but necessary conversations that can lead to healing and growth. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, but I don't know anyone who's been in foster care. Are you sure about that? The truth is, many people who have experienced foster care don't openly talk about it. There's often a stigma attached to it, a sense of shame or difference that can be hard to overcome. This is where Sharita's message becomes crucial for all of us. She's not just advocating for those who have experienced foster care. She's challenging all of us to be more open, more understanding, and more willing to have difficult conversations. Think about it. How often do we avoid talking about challenging experiences because we're afraid of saying the wrong thing? How many times have we missed an opportunity to connect with someone on a deeper level because we were too uncomfortable to broach a sensitive topic? Sharita's work challenges us to push past that discomfort, to reach out, to listen, to understand, because it's in these moments of vulnerability and openness that real connections are formed and healing begins. Certainly. But let's be clear, this isn't about pity. Sharita's story isn't one that calls for sympathy. It's a story that demands respect and admiration. It's a story that challenges us to reconsider our preconceptions about resilience, success, and the human capacity for growth. Consider this. Sharita didn't just survive her experiences in foster care. She used them as a foundation to build something positive. She took her pain and transformed it into purpose. She's not defined by her past, she's driven by it. This is a powerful lesson for all of us. How often do we let our past experiences limit us? How often do we use our challenges as excuses rather than fuel for growth? Sharita's journey shows us that our greatest struggles can become our greatest strengths if we choose to view them that way. Now, let's talk about Sharita's books for a moment. These aren't just any children's books. They're tools for healing, bridges for understanding, and seeds of resilience planted in young minds. By addressing themes of family, separation, prayer, faith, and resilience, Sharita is providing children with the emotional vocabulary they need to process their experiences. But here's the thing. These books aren't just for children who have experienced foster care. They're for all children because empathy and understanding start young. By exposing all children to these stories, we're raising a generation that's more aware, more compassionate, and more equipped to support those who might be going through challenging times. And isn't that what we all want? A world where people understand and support each other, where no one feels alone in their struggles, where resilience is celebrated and nurtured. This brings us to a crucial point in Sharita's message: the importance of mental health and healing. Too often, we focus on the physical aspects of care when it comes to children in challenging situations. We ensure they have food, shelter, and education. But what about their emotional and mental well being? Sharita's work highlights the critical need for mental health support for children who have experienced family separation or foster care. She understands that the scars left by these experiences don't disappear just because a child finds a permanent home or ages out of the system. These experiences shape a person's worldview, their ability to form relationships, their sense of self worth. By encouraging open conversations and providing resources through her books, Sharita is addressing this often overlooked aspect of care. She's showing us that healing is a journey, not a destination, and that it's never too late to start that journey. Now, I want you to take a moment and think about your own life. Think about a challenge you faced, a time when you felt alone or misunderstood. How did you overcome it? Who helped you along the way? And most importantly, how has that experience shaped who you are today? This is the kind of reflection Sharita's work inspires. It encourages us to look at our own experiences with new eyes, to find the strength in our struggles, and to use our stories to connect with and help others. But Sharita's message goes beyond individual healing. She's calling for systemic change by shining a light on the effects of foster care and social services on children. She's challenging us to look at these systems critically, to ask ourselves, are we doing enough? Are we truly serving the best interests of these children? And if not, what can we do to change that? This is where Sharita's call to action comes in. She's not just sharing her story. She's inviting us to be part of the solution. She's challenging us to reach out to those family members who have experienced foster care or social services to have those difficult conversations that can lead to healing and growth. Now, you might be thinking, but what if I say the wrong thing? What if I make it worse? Here's the truth. There's no perfect way to have these conversations, but the act of reaching out, of showing that you care and want to understand is powerful in itself. It's the first step towards healing, towards building stronger families and communities. Sharita's journey from foster care to becoming an author and advocate is a powerful reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, but it's also a call to action for all of us. It challenges us to look beyond our own experiences, to empathize with those who have faced different challenges and to use our own stories as tools for connection and healing. Let's talk about the ripple effect of Sharita's work. Her books aren't just touching the lives of children in foster care, they're changing the perspectives of everyone who reads them. They're opening eyes, softening hearts, and sparking conversations in homes, schools, and communities across the country. Consider this. A child reads one of Sharita's books and suddenly understands what their classmate who's in foster care might be going through. That understanding leads to kindness, that kindness leads to friendship, and that friendship could be the lifeline that foster child needs to thrive. Or imagine a parent reading one of Sharita's books to their child. It opens up a conversation about empathy, about different family structures, about the challenges some children face. That conversation plants a seed of compassion that will grow as that child does, shaping their interactions and their worldview for years to come. This is the power of storytelling. This is the impact of one person's decision to turn their pain into purpose. This is how change begins. But let's not stop there. Let's think bigger. What if Sharita's books were in every school library? What if they were part of the curriculum? What if every child, whether they've experienced foster care or not, had the opportunity to see the world through this lens of empathy and resilience? The potential for societal change is enormous. We could be raising a generation that understands trauma, that values mental health, that knows how to support those who are struggling. We could be creating a future where the stigma around foster care and family separation is dismantled, where those who have experienced these challenges are seen not as victims, but as survivors with valuable perspectives to share. This is the vision Sharita is working towards, and it's a vision we can all contribute to. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great, but I'm just one person. What real difference can I make? Well, let me tell you a story that Sharita shared with us. A few months ago, Sharita received a letter from a 10-year-old girl named Maya. Maya had been in foster care for 2 years and was struggling to adjust to her new family. She felt alone, misunderstood, and angry at the world. Then her foster mother gave her one of Sharita's books. Maya wrote to Sharita saying, "Your book made me feel like someone finally understands me. It made me realize that it's okay to be sad sometimes, but that I'm strong enough to get through this. I've started talking to my foster parents about how I feel, and it's getting better. Thank you for helping me find my voice." One book, one story, one connection. That's all it took to change the trajectory of Maya's life. And that's the power each of us holds. You might not be an author, you might not have experienced foster care, but you have a story. You have experiences that have shaped you, challenges you've overcome, lessons you've learned. And sharing those stories, being vulnerable and open, can create connections that change lives. So here's my challenge to you. In the next week, reach out to someone in your life who you know has faced significant challenges. It could be someone who's experienced foster care or someone who's dealt with any kind of family separation or difficult childhood. Don't pry, don't push. Just let them know you're there. Let them know you're willing to listen if they ever want to talk. And if you don't know anyone personally who fits this description, consider volunteering with organizations that support foster children or families dealing with separation. Your time, your understanding, your willingness to listen. These can make a world of difference to someone who's feeling alone and misunderstood. But don't stop there. Look for opportunities to share your own story, be it in casual conversations on social media or in more formal settings. Your experiences, your struggles, your triumphs, they all have the power to inspire, to connect, to heal. And let's think even bigger. How can we as a society better support children in foster care and those dealing with family separation? Can we advocate for better mental health resources in schools? Can we push for policies that prioritize keeping families together when possible and ensuring better support systems when separation is necessary? Can we work to destigmatize foster care and create more inclusive communities? These are big questions, and they don't have easy answers. But that's exactly why we need to be asking them, because it's only by confronting these challenges head on that we can hope to create real, lasting change. Remember, every great movement, every societal shift starts with individuals deciding to make a difference. Sharita SIMS decided to turn her painful experiences into a force for good. She decided to be the voice for those who often go unheard. And in doing so, she's changing lives, one book, one conversation, one connection at a time. So I'll leave you with this question. What will you decide? How will you use your story, your voice, your influence, however big or small you think it might be, to make the world a little bit better, a little bit kinder, a little bit more understanding? Because in the end, that's what Sharita's journey teaches us, that our stories, no matter how difficult, have the power to change lives. Not just our own, but the lives of countless others who might be struggling in silence. The power is in your hands. The time to act is now. Let's carry Sharita's message of resilience, understanding, and positive change into our daily lives. Let's start those difficult conversations. Let's reach out to those who are hurting. Let's advocate for change in our communities and our systems. Together, we can create a world where no child feels alone, where every story is valued, and where resilience is not just celebrated, but nurtured and supported. A world where experiences like Sharita's become catalysts for positive change, not cycles of trauma. This is our challenge. This is our opportunity. This is our responsibility. So, what's your story? And more importantly, how will you use it to rewrite the narrative of childhood trauma and resilience in our world? The pen is in your hand. The page is blank. It's time to start writing. Thank you.